Okay, here we are in the master closet. This is a 6x6 closet, and we're getting ready to set up here to figure out how we want to do our wire shelving in here. And we're going to use the bracket system here. I'm not using the old system. It's just ridiculous. The adjustable brackets are a lot better, and you have the horizontal tracks that will get mounted all the way across the top to the studs. So anyway, what we've done here, if you look at the floor, I sort of figured out what I want to put down here, and in the back wall here, I've only got 70 inches, so this is about just under 6 feet. So I've cut out this 12-inch paper to represent the different shelving units, you know, what they might look like if we put some here. And this blue tape here that you see represents being 12 inches out from the paper. So here's your paper. That line right there is where the super hanger rods are going to go. Those are the continuous hanger rods, and they're going to curve in a circle like this and come all the way around here and continue around this way as well. And the thing to remember is when you put a hanger up right along here, it's going to stick out another 8 inches, and then you want to give it a few more inches of clearance. So this edge of the blue tape right here, folks, is our clearance. So you can see you started off with a 6 foot wide closet and how very quickly it turns into very little room left over. That's maybe 2 feet for you to walk in. And so you need to keep those clearances in mind there. And the reason why you don't need the clearance here is this one is not going to hold clothing. I'm going to put some shelves here to hold towels for our master bathroom, which, as you can see, I just finished building it, and it is right over here. So this will give the buyer a good location to store the towels. And here's the shower that I just finished building. Took quite a bit of time. So this will be very convenient for them, and you can see you won't need any clearance when you open up the door, because you can just walk right in, because you'll have a 12-inch deep shelf that just goes right there. So here's what it's going to look like when you look into the closet here. And then it's important to find all of your studs. So I use these little magnetic guys here, and I'll show you how it works. This is actually kind of cool. You put them in here, and you just run it up the wall like this, and when it finds a nail, it just sort of pops right out and it sticks to the wall there. Little target guy. So then I just find 2 or 3 points, and I run my tape up the wall, and wherever you see these strips of tape, that's where your studs are. It can't get any easier than this, folks. I don't waste time with stud finders. A lot of times they don't work right. What these guys find is they find the screw. Forget about looking for the stud. I look for the screw. Once I find a bunch of screws in a line, I know where my stud is, and I know, you know, you're assuming they hit the center of the stud because they had the drywall, the studs were open at one time when they were hanging the drywall, so they know where to put the screws. So this is, to me, over the years has proven to be the most reliable method for marking your studs. Okay, so from here we're just going to sit down and figure out whether we want double or single decker clothes hanging, or if we want you know, a spot to put low dresses or high dresses, tall dresses, storage, that sort of thing. And then we'll pick up the parts. Sometimes like ClosetMaid will have kits, but usually the big box stores only carry the white. We're going to go with nickel, so we're going to have to buy everything and custom cut it ourselves. Closet looks like. So this is why you got to really test things out and test your layout before, because this is all you have. This is your opening into the closet here. So I had a rather portly friend of mine come in here and stand in here and say, yep, I could stand here and still have clearance to walk around and over here. So this is what you're going to have. So yeah, a lot of times the builders don't make master closets very big. And this is 2 inches under 6 feet, which I think is too small. They should really be 7 by 7 or even 8 by 8 if possible, if you really want to get a decent sized closet in here. And this is the problem too, because when you go on those online tools like on ClosetMaid or any of the other closet companies, and you punch in the numbers and the dimensions for this closet, they won't let you put more than just the back wall or the back wall and one side wall. You can't put anything on the other wall. So that's why I've ditched all of that nonsense, and I'm going with my own custom design that I know will fit into this area. Okay, so I've come along and I've drawn a line all the way around the top. This is my ledger line here, or some people call it a story line. But this is a line that's going to run all along the top of the wall, all the way around the corner to the other side as well. And that's where the track is going to mount. Well, so here we are, several hours later. I've gone to the store and I've picked up all of the components here for the closet, and we had to do everything custom here because none of the prefab sizes or anything or the kits will work in this room, in this small closet really. So what we did here was we started with this back wall here, and as you can see, I wanted everything to be double decker. So lower section here, upper section here, and another upper section here, and another lower section down here. So this makes the most efficient use out of your closet space. And then this little section in the middle here would be for like longer dresses or long pants or something, or a suit. Standard 70-inch height right here, whereas these shelves here are standard 42-inch here and 84-inch up here to allow 12 inches of storage space above. So that's what I'm doing here is I have the shelf that goes around the entire top here. And then these are the SuperSlides. So I'm using these SuperSlide rods, and these are kind of cool because you can slide your hangers all the way around here unstopped, which is really cool if you need to get clothes out of the way. And notice I'm using one of these corner pieces too. Like, so you see this curved corner piece here? I'm using it right here. And this is cool because it allows you to make use of space that for some people would either be a void back in the corner there, or it would be a keep out, because if you had hangers here with clothes all the way to the wall, you wouldn't be able to use it. So this is a more efficient way to use the corner areas, is to have your hangers can go around like that. And I'm going to do that on the other side here as well. So you can see I'm only up about 50% now. These are a little bit flimsy. I don't think these snap in as tight as they ought to. The people at ClosetMaid, I don't know. They're designers. They couldn't have been designed by anybody that's actually using this themselves, because they would have seen, oh, these don't snap in that tight, and they're not very snug. So my guess is they're just relying on the weight of your clothing to weigh it down and make it a little more steady. But that's, that to me, that's just poor engineering. You should rely on your own product to be sturdy, not on the weight of the user's items. So anyway, as you can see here, this is dry fit, so not everything is bolted in yet. But what we've done here, as you can see on this standard here, I was able to get screws to go into this. This is where the stud's going to be. So the edge of this tape is where my screw line is. So that one was able to go in. So luckily we're able to get into the studs there. This other one won't be able to, so we have to use our anchors. And that's where I use these little, not little, they're pretty big, these toggler high performance anchors. And these can handle 265 pounds each. So this puppy's not going anywhere. Half of the screws are going to be going through studs, the other half are going to be using those big anchors. And this thing will not come off the wall unless the whole building comes down with it. And you can see where the standards are in the back there, see? So the standards are here, and then the shelf brackets just go right into the standard, and they support your shelves. So let me show you how one of these works. So you've got your standard here, and you've got your bracket, and the bracket just kind of plugs in there. So let's take a closer look here. Here's where the side view, sort of, and you just stick the bracket right in there, and it goes down and rests like that. And then you put your shelf right on top of it, and the shelf locks into it in the back there. And this part just sort of sticks through the front of the shelf, and I'll show you right here how it works. See, here's one here where I put the shelf right on it, and this part just kind of sticks through the opening there. We're going to put some little plastic end caps here to cap these off. And then there's the back of the bracket there. And the shelf kind of just clicks right in place there. So my goal here for this right hand side of the closet here is it's going to look very similar to what you see on the left hand side here. It's going to be a 36-inch wide section of double decker to maximize the storage in here. And you can see how I made the right call with this blue tape, putting it right where I did, because here's your hangers, see? And when you have clothes on these hangers and you want to give a couple of inches of margin here to the right of it, this is actually going to be, when you have a fully stocked closet, this is going to be your open area here. So it looks a little bigger in here now, but it's not going to be when you have clothes in here. You're always fighting for inches on the closet, man. Any extra inch you can get in size of the room is better. Oh, and one other thing too I wanted to mention to you. This is a great idea to get the most out of your storage space in the closet here. See how I have the shelf going around the top there? Well, why not just continue it and go all the way above the door too? People forget above the door you get plenty of space there. So I could have a good 12-inch shelf coming all the way along here. That's an extra 6 feet of storage space there. Here you can see is our completed project here in the master closet. This is a closet that's 2 inches under 6 feet by 6 feet. 70 inches by 70 inches. And as you can see, it turned out quite nice. This was a full custom job, meaning I had to cut every single one of these shelves to my own design because we couldn't use any of the design software online because they wouldn't let us put shelves on both sides of the room. So I ditched all of the online sites and just went with my own little hand-drawn, sketched out design here. I just sat here in front of the wall and came up with the design, and we went and cut all the pieces and put it together. Now, the best way really in recapping all of this, the best solution for you is really to work on this back wall first and make sure that you've got your double decker, your low hanging and your high hanging, lots of it on both sides here. And then I put one here, even if it's just a small section, this is only 12 inches wide, but that's for taller dresses at 70 inches, okay? And then you want to continue on your SuperSlide rails here. I have them top and bottom. Here's the ones up at the top. And you can see I've got all the way around the top there is the shelving. And that's what's so versatile about this system here is these rails, you can space them whichever way you want and make whatever type of shelf you want and just cut the shelf to your own suiting. And we used a Dremel tool. It's a little electric tool that spins at a high rate of speed. And we used a metal cutting bit to cut all of these. So this came out pretty good. We're very happy with the results. I'm still not all that happy with these SuperSlides. I think they wobble a little, but I'm hoping that with a little bit of clothes on there that it will weigh them down. And what we did here on the very end by the door here, we added a bunch of shelves here to use for the master bathroom for towels and stuff like that, and linens too. Because what happens is when you come in the closet door like this, see, you can't have your shelf go all the way to there because you need room to be able to get in through the door here. So that's why we stopped this about 2 feet away, so you can just kind of walk in diagonally and you'll be right here in the closet. The other side isn't such a big deal because the shelf only comes right up to here, and it actually comes out about 2 inches beyond the wall. That's not a deal breaker. But on this side it would be because your hangers are going to stick out here. So if you can imagine these hangers being right here, how much room are you going to have coming in the door? You really want more space than that. And so there's our master vanity here. We put in this new double vanity. All of the other condos in this area here have a single vanity. We put in a double. We put in this bamboo wood flooring that you see here. And there's the view. It's just a gorgeous closet. I love this new nickel. They call it nickel. It's like a nickel colored here. And you can even buy wood faced fronts to put on the front here if you want. But it's, you know, we spent so much on this already here. They nickel and dime you to death. See these little caps? These little caps right here are 2 for $5. I'm like, come on, we had to use 10 of them in here. So it's like, don't you guys have a bag of 10? Nope. So that's where they really get you, is on all these little tiny accessories and upgrades and stuff. And so that was good having these shelves right here, because this leads into the master shower right here. And here you can see we spent quite a amount of time doing the tiling in here, especially that niche that you see there. And I even, if you look at the top here, I even added this stone, the travertine crown along the top. You don't see that in too many installations. So I thought that would make a nice touch. And this right here took us a couple of days. It took me about 2 days to cement all of these in. So there you have it. One last look at the closet, and hopefully your closet will turn out just as well as this one did.